Hi everyone, hope you all are having a great time. So I have a session with me right now. It's about Microsoft Purview. So the topic is anywhere, anytime, and anyone with Microsoft Purview. So Microsoft Purview is quite a vague topic. Anyway, we will be focusing on the risk and compliance for the following product of Microsoft Teams, Exchange Online, and SharePoint Online. So if you are an end user, if you're not sure about what's Exchange Online, so basically is your Outlook, your mails. Yeah, these are the productive end users products that most organization uses if they acquired the Microsoft products. However, if you are very new and you don't have a very great clarity about the differences, I can give you a summary that there are two types of license category. One is called the petrol, and the other one is called the online type of license. I will go on further that later in the slides. So our agenda today is that I will share you what's the introduction of a purview, what's the purpose of getting a purview, what sort of license that you can look into it or you have it and you might want to explore further into it. And next, I will show you about the deep dive into what is DLP, the function of AIP or MIP, audit, and retention period. After that, in terms of what next in the future of security that Microsoft can provide you guys for a more efficient security and function for you guys. So what's Microsoft Purview is a family of data governance, risk, and compliance solutions that can help you govern, protect, and manage your entire data estate. Okay. So the purpose of getting a Microsoft Purview feature is that you can see that recently our largest telecom Malaysia announced that they have some incident placed on 2022 where there were data of a customer details like names, phone number, emails, and maybe password. I'm not too sure, but most likely that was the only safe details that they were willing to share out to the media. And I think there are quite a lot of major data breaches in Malaysia for the past 2 years ago. So I think these are all the things that you should consider. And next is also if you have a data breach and what should you do next? Okay, so that's the aftermath of the data breach. Some of them tend to keep quiet about it and spend millions and millions of dollars, to get their system up, get their data back up. Some of them will just, let's change the entire infrastructure and all those. But if you were to plan this ahead, then you can avoid those causes, those costs that you might need to avoid those causes that may cost you up a lot of you know money to do all those aftermath of data breaches. You might end up firing some employees or spend more money on changing the security part of your environment or investing a lot of money. So if you want to plan to get a insurance for IT part, you can always contact a few companies. There's one is Allianz. If I not mistaken, I remember there's one, and there's four more which is not we're quite not very familiar with me. So I you can search it out on the internet. for these five companies. Next purpose of getting a Microsoft Purview is that we Malaysia do have a data protection law, PDPDA, we call it. So you might have to look into this if your company is dealing with customer sensitive information. You are gonna use this information, to transfer out, transfer in, and this that you might have to look into it in the PDPDA. Licenses. So for licenses, I may show you a PDF file that I have. This is the latest one. I got it. Okay. So for enterprise, if you are on M365 enterprise, so you can look at E3 or E5 here. Okay. Let's go to the security portion for Purview. Okay. So for emails and files, so the files that is containing in your OneDrive or in your Outlook. So E3 does provide that feature for DLP, data loss prevention, but they do not provide the feature for Teams, in your chat panel that you share files with customers or, with other partners or DLP or endpoint DLP where files that store in your PC. So this feature is not available in enterprise E3 license. Okay. So if you want the full suite of this DLP feature, you might need to look forward in E5 license, or you can, if you are planning to get it as an a la carte, so you can also look at it as E5 security or E5 compliance. Okay. So if you already have E5, but you are looking to explore what's the very useful features that can enable now, which doesn't impact much on my size or towards to end users productivity, so I can share you that laterwards. So I'm just sharing you, like, you can see that maybe those basic plan of security E3 does provide you, but the ones that you need like automation, more in-depth labeling, sensitive labeling for Teams or for Microsoft apps, you might need to plan to get the E5 part, 5 portion. Okay. So even though the a la carte do provide some of the features that you are required, if you do not want, I'm not sure about how the license costs right now, whether is it package wise would be cheaper or a la carte would be cheaper, depending on how many license you have, and you can plan on, switching your license to, save costs. Switching license doesn't very impact much on the mail, just that you have to plan your time to, do that switches. You can use a PowerShell to switch license, like maybe from E3 to E5, you know, yeah. Or you can just use the UI interface to exchange those license. Okay. I get this license detail from Microsoft website. I'll share that website later in the description. If you are free, that you can go and explore further. Okay, let's move on to slide. So this is how the data loss prevention interface looks like. So this is a video that I tested out. So I afraid my tenant will be a bit lag because I have some problem with my internet right now. So yeah, and I always like to do a detailed description about what rule, what's the purpose of it. So in each rule, you might need to know the products into a single rule, like Exchange Online, SharePoint, Teams together into one rule. So they may have a different functions for each product. So I would prefer that you guys go ahead to create like a single DLP for a single product. So in this DLP, you can have a detection for credit card number, passport, or identification card. Okay, there's furthermore, you can even create your uh own unique sensitive information types, like maybe you have a company ID for documents to safeguard documents, different ID. You can also create that, but from this point I'm not gonna teach you how to create session. I would teach you guys how to create your own manual sensitive information. So when you just first time created that particular sensitive information, you might need to let it an hour or two to get it propagated to the rule itself. Okay. So even that you have set the credit card number, you can always set how highly it should detect. Is it advanced or medium or low? I think it's mostly high or low. And how many count is your, that limit that you may flag this rule. It could be 1 to 9, or it's up to you, 10 to 100. Yeah. So it's better to acknowledge us to set up a DRP policy. So for Malaysia, we are more likely to needed to block credit cards or IC identification card that is going outwards. And yeah, usually this information are supposed to be surround within the organization, not to expose to external party, unless maybe certain situation, I'm not too sure. So certain situation that you only want the specific person to know, you might need to label that particular document or email as in confidential, meaning it could be confidential or it could be only for this company. Yeah. Or you can label it to, only to this specific recipient. So there are lots of functions that you can view in the DLP. You can use it. You can either restrict them from uploading. You can start to apply some block. So usually, if you want to block something that is sensitive going out, you can always look on DLP. Okay. So this part is actually the endpoint. Okay, you can prevent the file from being print out, copy to a USB, or copy to a clipboard. You can always block that. You can block or you can audit it. You can also set up what sort of notification do you want to notify to a user, or you just want to keep it within the organization, within your department, to know how many people are using their data, to know how those data are being behaved, how those information. So the next one is that they have the for the endpoint DLP setting, they do have a list of functions there. You can always put in like a specific file location and do not allow them to remove it, to block them from using it. Sorry, not to remove, I mean to block them from having this particular file in their Windows or in their Mac. So yeah, for Mac devices, it's a bit different. different path. So for Windows, they have also a different path. So you can include those full name of the path of this that particular file name. So for information protection, so this is the sensitive label that I just mentioned. So if you want only this few recipient to know what sort of information that you are providing them, so you might have to label them. So there are already a default labels they created for you. There are 5 types, which is called general, public, personal, confidential, and highly confidential. So some organization they have their own risk and compliance department. They already have the document that aligning who should be who should hold the confidential label and who is in this confidential group. Yeah. So I did implement this for one of the organization, and some of them are still not end users are still not very used to it. So they are putting in as a like a free use of the label, meaning it's not falsely implemented when the label detected a sensitive info. So but this doesn't mean the DRP is basically the label is like for end users to freely tag whatever documents or emails that they want as confidential or general or public. Okay. So that I think this is kind of a process for them to adapt to this huge kind of changes. So I think it is quite normal for them to take time to adapt with all these changes. So there are users who are quite adaptable for throughout these changes, so they might use it quite easily for them. Yeah. You can also choose what type of policy that you should deploy to a different type of department, what sort of label that they can see. For label, how it will view in terms in your Outlook app. So this is how it will look like. So when you have the label app installed on all endpoints, they can see that this specific logo in here, and when they click it, they will see that what are the list of labels that they hold. Okay, so what are the list of label that me as a user can use. So for in document portion, you can see that document they have also this logo. When they click it, they will see what sort of label that I can hold, that I can use on this document. And as I mentioned, that each label, when you hover over, they will show up like a pop up saying that what is this used for. So that is why that I always like to describe what is the use of the label in the admin portal. So please take note that not all type of document format we can classify. These are only the few document format that can use this labeling feature. Okay, I will share the reference link also where to get all this info. And lastly, we do have a uh statistic page where we can see the behavior of DLP and labeling. So we call this as the activity explorer. Okay, these are all inside the security admin portal. You can also extract a very detailed report, but please take note that sometimes the report there are their information in certain columns is a encrypted data, you might need to release this encryption on the Office 365 admin center. Okay, and if not, it's under rules if I remember. Yeah. Okay, so we do have this. Let me see if I can zoom this. Okay. So we do have an auditing. So I think this is most organization are looking for. We can audit each user's behavior towards each product. It could be download, upload, remove, change, delete. Could be in admin center, admin behavior also. Which admin has deleted a user, changed the license. So everything is all in here. You can always search by keyword, by timeline. So wherever you created a new Office 365 tenant, this is the first feature that you need to enable it to. Okay? Because if you did not enable this, they did not record any admin or users' behavior towards their use of Microsoft products. Okay? So you can also search for a specific site and or file that is inside OneDrive or SharePoint, but mostly they are using this for SharePoint. And next is the audit retention policy. So you can always create a policy here to audit a specific action or specific user within a time period if you suspect that this person is stealing data or you're suspecting that this person have a very getting a lot of uh, reported issue by other colleagues, you can always open a audit test. Retention period. So this part is what most looking for. Like some company require to retain their data for 7 years, and instead of downloading to a external hard disk, and you do not know when that particular disk is going to corrupted or when you are going to forget the password, where you can enable a retention period. You can retain OneDrive documents or particular shape or exchange only. So it's depending which location, which product that you wish to retain those records. Please take note that I think this is on available on um only some license. So usually I will choose static, to retain those 7 years. To you which one is suitable to your situation. So but mostly I seen people set up is step. You can retain how many years. Okay, so from here is 7 years, and you can choose start the retention period based on when items are created. Okay, or at the end of the retention period, do you wish to delete the items or just do nothing? Okay, some people would like to retain this forever, so they prefer to only delete items when they have reached a certain age. Okay, so we are until the last part of security portion. I would like to share you that we are all looking forward to, I am also looking forward to Microsoft Security Copilot. I would like to explore with it. I know they already give out a preview version, and I'm still, still starting off to, explore with it, and let's see how cool is it, this Security Copilot. Okay, so that's all, and thank you for your time. So yeah, this is a few feature of Security Copilot. So they have a particular part box here that you can type it out. Say that does this log file have malicious activity related to this detection? So these are the references that I will also post it on the description. So and thank you for your attention and please do not ask difficult questions. No, it's okay. It's just a joke. So if you want to ask any question, you can always find me on LinkedIn. You can just message me or on Twitter. I'm always available there. So yeah. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.